Hey, what's up, legends? Welcome back to another great morning. We are gonna draw something together this morning. So I hope you packed your lettering or drawing utensils, whatever it is. Come draw with me, come create something with me today, this morning. I'm really excited for you to join, and I really don't have a plan of what we do this morning, so I got my iPad ready. I'm ready to start drawing here something, and I really want you to draw something with me. So let's just switch up here. This is the overview that I have, and so again, I don't know exactly what I'm gonna be drawing this morning. I see that Caius is here. Hey Caius, awesome for you to join. Let me know where you're joining in from, if you're drawing something with me. If you got your stuff ready, I would love to know about that. Now, how I usually go about these things is that I need to figure out what I want to draw first. So I need some inspiration, and we know that inspiration leads to motivation, that leads to action, but I'm gonna switch this a little bit around, and I'm gonna start with action. This means I'm gonna actually start doing something, and so to get warmed up, to get a little bit of a feeling, I'm just gonna draw some shapes, just something that comes in my mind. So it's gonna look like nothing much, and I want you to do this exercise with me, is really to start putting your pen on whatever devices is you are using. So I'm just gonna see if I can use this here. Boom. Maybe I can just add a other view of myself here. Maybe not. That's okay. Okay, so first off, what we're gonna do is we're gonna just pick up a pen, doesn't matter what kind of pen, and we're just gonna draw some shapes here, and the movement is what's gonna help us to kind of find out what we're gonna do. And this, for me, it's early morning. It's I just woke up not too long ago, showered, and didn't have breakfast, but I had coffee, which is great. I love coffee. I don't know about you, but I really love coffee. You guys are awesome joining in here from everywhere. So just please help do this exercise with me, and we can get started. I'll turn the music a little bit louder, and then we're just gonna fill this page up with some random shapes, just to play around with some ideas and just to get warmed up. Our ankle, knuckles, something should help us to get warmed up and just easy to get started. So this is just a warm-up exercise. We're gonna do this for 5 minutes, and then we're gonna jump over to a real drawing session. Okay, let's do this. as you're getting better and better with those circles, please try to do not just drawing all these circles in multiple shapes times round, but more like a single stroke circle. So this will kind of like propel you forward into practicing drawing circles a lot better, drawing these curved shapes, which is a hard thing to do and it's a great practice. So just try to go around and just try to do these in one single stroke and get them as great as possible. Don't worry if they're not as good, but just keep on practicing. All right, let's jump back in. All right, this is it. This is the first exercise. This is a warm-up exercise. I see that people are joining us from Bavaria, from the UK, from India. This is amazing, guys. We're in this together, drawing something this morning. And if you're rewatching this, then welcome to you too. Probably more from the United States later on date. All right, let's put this aside. Let's bring up a new page. If you're on the iPad, bring up a new layer. And to get started now, we're already in the rhythm. It's kind of like running around, starting jogging. It's like the first steps are the hardest because it's from 0 to first steps, right? And just getting started, getting your body ready to play this. Now I'm gonna go over to Pinterest, and I'm gonna look up on some quotes that I like. I hope that this will work. Maybe not, we'll see. All right, I see the thing. Let's see if I can disconnect. Okay, cool. So let's see, let's jump over here. We have a lot of different things, and I like to save up my inspiration and to put this down into different boards. So I have a couple of different boards. One of them is here, quotes fun. Let's see what we get. I love this one. I'm so broke, I can't even pay attention. I'm not too lazy. I'm on an energy saving mode. My brain has too many tabs open. I regret every nap I never took. I like this one. Dinosaurs had no coffee. How did that work out? Not so good. We know that. There are some play of words that I really like, but maybe we can even go deeper. So there's quotes, like a board called quotes lettering, that is in here. You never lose hope. What if I can do it? I made you guys choose on Instagram which one is your favorite design, and so here we have this one. They're all the same, basically the same quote. You make today better, and you see this in the background. I need to know where to move to. This here, I did that on the chalk wall. Then I did a second piece, which is this one here. Already did this one. And let's move in to where this is. This is not published yet. I'm gonna publish this. So I'm just gonna switch over to the iPad view. And we're missing the iPad screen. Let's see if This will connect straight away. I lost the iPad. So there we go. Boom, there we go. So this is a piece that I made here, and it's really this colorful mix, this mix that is just like simple letters, but then you play around with those colors, you make these pop and make them exciting, and you guys will be able to choose which one I'm gonna make today, but I've got like a couple more options, and these are these options here. So let's go to the front again. So I have this one here, that's more of a circle piece in shape. So I kind of want to make this one with some stippling. This one here has some ribbons inside of it, and something that we can do. Also really fun to do. Both of these are really great to do, and this is one of those two that I would really love to do with you guys. So let me know in the comments what you think, what you like. If you want to see another one, like, please let me know. Also, if you have any other suggestions what you want to do in the morning drawing session, let me know in the comments. If you're rewatching this, just tap a comment and fill it out. And let's see what you guys think. It's just a little bit, there's a little lag from the time that I'm saying this and that you guys are seeing this, plus the time that you need to add the comments. So I'm just gonna leave you guys a little bit of time there to check that out. And while you're doing that as well, please leave a like below. Maybe I'm just gonna take the time to also say that we have a podcast, both Lauren and I. So that's pretty fun. So I see one, the circle. Peter is saying the circle. That is awesome. Who else do we have here? Couple of viewers. The circle is a really fun one to do, actually. You guys are gonna love this. Boom, boom, boom. And there we go, back to the live streaming. So Life in Taiwan is asking what type of software I use for streaming. So I use OBS software that's connected to my iPad, my webcam, my microphone, pretty much everything right here. Oh, we have two opposite comments right there. Circle, ooh, 2 to 3. I think that's a majority for me right there. Let's see, let's move that around. Two to 2. 3 to 2 for the ribbon one, I think. Let's see if we get a couple more options before we see that circle. 3-3. Man, this is, we probably have to do both. I just see that happening right there. All right, we'll start off with the circle one because that is the most easy, the easiest to get into. So I'm gonna jump over again to the iPad, and here we go. We're gonna go on. We create a new art board. And so this is a canvas. This is 4,000 by 5,000. Super easy to remember. It's really not much to it than just it's big, it's large. 4 by 5 is the Instagram ratio. So 4,000 by 5,000 pixels with 600 DPI. Simple and easy to do. Now, to start off, I'm gonna go in and select, I think I'm gonna just take a picture of the artwork. So what I'm gonna do is just take this here, take a picture, trying to be as straight as possible. And as soon as I got that, I'm gonna send it over. I'm gonna copy the photo, and literally with the OS, it should actually allow me to simply paste this in, maybe not. Let's see if I can airdrop this over. There might be a problem with the connection to the iPad. That would be a bummer. The other easy way to do that is also just to take a picture. So insert, take a photo here. Just gonna have to remove the cover. Make sure that these cables are not in the way. And here we go. Make sure that this is here. Oh, there we go. We actually got the photos. Not necessary anymore. Okay, let's see. I can go cancel. I can go insert photo. Perfect. So I'm just gonna scale this up to a size that I want to work on. Perfect. And now I'm just gonna hide this a little bit. And so we're gonna start off with kind of creating a grid around that. Like I already made a really great effort into drawing this as good as I can. So now it's just making sure that the shape and everything works. So I'm using the grid builder tool. So if you don't know, the grid builder is a great tool to create compositions or just making sure it's all in the right shape. So as you can already see, the U make is already too low. It's not in a circle. It would be kind of more of an oval shape. So I'm gonna just duplicate this. Actually, I'm gonna erase most of the inside here. And if you're asking why, there we go. The reason why is because I kind of need just these parts, so not necessarily the rest. And I'm just gonna go in and look for the better here. Now, I wanna have a shape that is curved over here, so we have a large arc, which I can take up here and then just move up there. Let's see. Now this one is not perfectly in the shape of the circle, which is why I'm gonna truly just make a little adjustment here. So if you use the drawing guide, amazing tool, you go into perspective and then you tap on this middle here and just make sure that it's centered. And the way to do that is really to kind of zoom in. You see these lines, you see the top line here that goes through. That works for me. So the opacity here, we can just change that to a dark so we can really see them well. And just for me, I'm gonna be drawing inside this one some lines because I need kind of the guide to help me out here. So these are just more for as a help line. And since I am very lazy, I'm not gonna redraw them all over again. I'm just gonna duplicate this and then flip over. And then add this back here. There we go. That was easy. But then I'm just gonna add another shape, which is for the today. And so we're going back to the grid builder. I'm gonna use this slanted version here because I love this. It's a little bit slanted, it's not too much slanted. Kind of like that. I like this. And we see like I'm gonna change a little bit of the size of today. So just gonna go a little bit like drag it down, but I like this. That looks fine to me. And just to move the sketch around a little bit, I'm gonna drag this, move this up here. Perfect. That works. Awesome. I feel like we're ready. That is pretty much the point that I wanted to start sketching and to do now. So I will go in. I'm gonna use my favorite brush, the Stefan Kunz sketch brush, which is unfortunately still not available. I haven't gotten around to do this yet, but if you're doing this right now, so draw a circle around, like here, draw an inner circle that is a little bit smaller, like this, the second one in here, and use a second shape to kind of draw the inside of today. And it's really this easy. It's like top, middle, and bottom part, and then we're gonna work around the letter style afterwards as well. So if you're using a simple quote like make today amazing, works too. It's like a top layer. Like I could just change this around. Like let's see. Let's go. So make. Yes, I forgot the M. That is normal. Make today. And we can still use the similar shapes here, and then go back. Make today amazing. Kind of like this. Like this works too. Totally fine. But we are going to play around now with these shapes. I'm just gonna put all of these here into one, so I can hide them a little bit better. Then take out the drawing guide there because I don't need that anymore. I just need to make those lines in here. And so for the next part, I'm gonna just jump over and start with the you make. And for that, we can also use the grid builder, the letter builder, which I can find here. And now I want to make sure, like I want to use bold letters. That looks kind of cool. Just gonna space them a little bit better. And so here we go. This is why I used these inlines. Whoops. Sure that these all fit. I want to make sure that it's on the line perfectly. And I'm going to use these anchor points in the middle of the grids to help me make sure of this. Apparently they're not totally in the middle. There we go. Now I can duplicate this one. Well, actually, I just want to duplicate this one. And then do the same thing over again. All right, we got these words here. And I would just want to duplicate these 3. Just like this. And then I'm gonna flatten these, duplicate this. Perfect. Alrighty. Time to get started with the drawing. And let's see. Just gonna merge all of these together. Flatten. Perfect. Back to my favorite brush here, make. So we're gonna start off with the Y. And as you can see, I really have the freedom to play around with the style of the letters. just needed to make sure that it's all closed off, maybe. Perfect, this time it works. So the first thing that I see is that these letters are well spaced, or better spaced than I kind of thought. And where I still see some improvement potential is definitely with the Y here. It needs a little bit to be closer to kind of match the make. And we can still adjust it a little bit to one side and the other. Definitely helps to kind of balance it off. So that's a great way to just play around with these things. Again, don't think too much about colors right now. Don't think too much about the details. We're gonna add all of this later in. But right now, I really want you guys to focus on drawing out those letters, make them perfect. And if you're drawing it in the circle shape, in the same styled composition, it's a really easy and fun composition style there, because it's a round circle. The main word is pretty much like today. Maybe the focus shouldn't be necessarily on today, but it can be anything else, like you are amazing. That's it, kind of like that. So I'm just gonna go down here and start with the better. Now we've inversed the letter builder, so the heavy weight is on the top. So there is actually a right and wrong side of the letter builder, but really these are just there to kind of guide your strokes, and that's exactly where the mistake here. And the great thing about the letter builder is really helps you with the consistency of the thickness of the letters. Make sure that they're all pretty much the same weight. And the grid builder here helps you with like this line here, that's kind of the baseline that we need to work with. And you can still like play around with the shape of the E. Like you want the middle bar to have this thing, kind of more like vintage, older style this way. So what I'm trying to do here is more focus on the low part. But I kind of want to keep the same E as we have up here, which is why I'm just gonna erase this. But again, feel free to play around with that. This is why lettering is so much fun, because you can really play around with those letters and make it fun for yourself. right, now the thing is, I'm struggling right now with the style of the today, and I feel like I did a great job at the sketch, better than I'm doing right now here. So instead of trying to play around with this too much, because I kind of need to fit it more to the lower part there, I'm just gonna duplicate the sketch here, and I'm gonna use the liquify brush here to kind of just, well, actually I might just grab this here instead of the liquify, using the warp, and then I might be able to control this a lot better. Yeah, that works a lot better. Alright, this follows that line, and need to move that around a bit. Here we go. Yeah, it seems to work a lot better already. I need to make sure that these are all straight, like this. And then I kind of need to fix the T, how it revolves around the D with the kind of the ligature in the back. Alright, this seems fine, so I'm just gonna again try to do a new layer and then just more follow these lines here. And now you can see why this exercise at the beginning was really useful, since we are drawing a lot of circles and still doesn't look really right. That looks a lot better. Yeah. There always comes a time where I lose my patience and I just start to draw faster and faster, which is not great. Hello to Damar Lopez from Nicaragua. What time is it there? It must be really late. Ah, you see, still not happy. It can happen that you have to do things over and over and over again. Don't worry about it. It's a thing for perfectionists. Now I'm just gonna... The thing how I do, when I do things over and over again, I try to change something so that I'm trying something new. All right, I feel like I'm happy with the A, which is a great start. And you know what is great about working with you guys here? Oh, it's 1:16 a.m. in the morning. You are the leg creative. I hope you don't have to get up early in the next morning. I like to draw in the morning because it's actually, like, it's always easier to do it first thing in the morning. It's harder to set your time like at 6 p.m. to start drawing then. It's easier to do that first thing in the morning. Like if you have to go to work early, then you can set up the alarm earlier and then like start drawing right away. Or, and that's why I love doing these come draw with me, is because we have this accountability. I have to be here, you guys can join in, and you guys can start drawing with me. And so we're all drawing here, have a drawing session, and we're in all different parts of the world, which is pretty amazing if you ask me. If you have any questions, please ask them below in the comment section. Leave a like if you enjoy this creative session, if you want me to do some more of these. Definitely helps me to know what you guys think. And while we're like finishing this drawing here, I think I have time to answer some questions. But I hope you guys are really occupied with drawing, and I don't actually need to engage you that much. The grids are available for sale. There's a link in the description here in the video, Peter. So tools I use, you can type on the shop, and there's going to be all the grids, the letter builder. If you get both letter builder and grid builder, they have a combined sale, so 25% discounts on both if you get both. Yeah, remember why I didn't do that with the D. You see, if you have a ligature on the top, you don't kind of want to have this ligature of the same letter at the bottom. And unless you want to make it as complicated as I did before here in the sketch, then it might not work here as well. Keep it simple, that's the idea. And especially here, it needs to be a little bit thinner. So yeah, that's a great question, Peter, about the M. It is the same width. You can turn it around and draw it, but then an M, just to explain that quickly, like an M is drawn on 3 axes, so like this, while a W is drawn on 5 axes, like this. So when you do it slanted, it still would go these lines, while the W would go on these lines again, 5 lines. So yes, it does. There's a whole PDF explaining on how to draw each letter. You can use that one to help yourself. And again, there are some rules on how to use it, but yeah, depends on what you need to get that. Might just be a little bit too much with the D. So to do that, start by Samela is getting peace and quiet. I like that. Yeah, if you're working this early or this late, it's probably late for you. You would get up at 3 a.m. or 3:30 a.m. in the morning to work and then start your day. I'm impressed either way, really. No matter what time you got up. All right, I'm a little bit stuck here with the Y. Because on one hand, I kind of want to imitate the shape up here, so kind of find a way to have something like this. But how? That is the question. How can I actually imitate this style? Thank you, Benphone. Benoit. Thank you so much. Yeah, I don't know how to fix this. See, this would be perfect. Almost perfect. Well, that could work. All right. You see, there's always an idea that makes boop, and then just something kind of works out. So if I would finish this here, there's something that's not going to work, but I'll tell you that in a second. It's to actually combine this here. It'll go as far deep down. And then somehow maybe this goes in out a little bit further. So this is the moment where you guys can experiment, depending on how far you guys are. To experiment ligatures and flourishes. These are more flourishes than ligatures, but yeah, that looks a little bit complicated. But see, the great thing about flourishes they need to be on these same axes, where they kind of like rotate around. And right now it's not working out the way I want it to, which is kind of this thing, you know. Ooh, Phil just got my new book. So if you don't know, again, let me just take a break here from drawing. This is my new book, You Are God's Masterpiece. I want to say God's great masterpiece. That's not true. And here you go. You get like a ton of inspiration, of a caption like on Instagram where I write something out where I want to encourage and inspire you. And then there's a ton of great photos, colorful photos, some black and white, just my style of work that I like to do. And then starts off with a beautiful reflective color here. Boom, I can a little bit hit you with some light. Yeah, and then some beautiful 2-page long covers like this. even for me, it's kind of where I draw my inspiration from, like looking back, like, oh yeah, this is how I could try to do it. And eventually maybe I'll find something here that could help me, which I feel like I already have right now. Like from this one, you see how this line kind of goes in and out. It kind of supports the whole thing, but then intertwines everything. It's beautiful. Cool things as well to do. Some glow, some neon light piece. Yeah, ton of great inspiration right here. If you want to get this book, you can check out the link, the stefankunz.com/toolbox. You'll find it there. You'll find also my other book, The Art of Lettering, which I released 2 years ago. And some great recommendations for some beautiful lettering books that you can find there as well. So again, Toolbox, it's linked below. You'll find everything there. Now, there are two things that just got my inspiration up here, and I'm just gonna erase this part again. Because one is, let's see. Actually, I can delete this part. I will try to take this here, duplicate. Instead of drawing this out, I'm just gonna flip this around a couple times like that. Right. And just move it a little bit. Not too much. The thing is, you really want to keep these a little bit like that. And now I can maybe not even too big. Okay, so let me explain. Oh, you didn't see any of that. I'm so sorry. This is what I did. I copied the T and I kind of flipped it around over here like this side there. It's hard when you don't see it. And then I'm trying to think of closing the loop here and then maybe adding some flourishes like this there, and the rest will fill it out. Kind of like that. Okay. Breakthrough. I feel like it's a breakthrough. Let's see if it really is. I need to kind of adjust here. And then just jump in here. All right, I don't know. You probably, I love this. These are the moments when things seems to go on. Yeah, Jasmine, you're right. That was my fault. I forgot to move things around. Hope you got caught up. But this feels like a breakthrough right here. And all right, I'm still not happy with this part here, and what I feel like I'll be able to do, liquefy is a great tool to move things around if you're in the right layer. like this. Yeah. Now I can correct, merge down. I'm moving fast. I'm sorry. When you're in the flow, you kind of get this right feeling that everything seems to be working out just right. Kind of like this. Yeah. Need to make some adjustments here just to get that right. And then we can load this in here. All right. I'm kind of digging this. It's almost right. Looking at the distance between this space here and this space there is about the same, and it looks a little bit like I need to move some things or make them a little bit smaller. I think making them smaller would actually fix a couple of things. Kind of like this. Yeah. I hope you feel that groove. Great question, Benoit. I did not have to. That was one of my... I needed to make that happen. Because of time, I wasn't able to work on a lot of the book. So because we had to write the whole captions or rewrite them in a different style or just work them out a little bit better. I did not have essentially the most time to finish this. And so that's why that is something I wasn't able to do. But that's why I work always in the highest possible resolution that I possibly can. Because I just know that I kind of want to be able to use these later on. And because most of them are working with images as well, you don't really have that possibility. Like either you have to redraw the whole thing, and that's, I'm gonna say it sucks. It really sucks. And even though I say create something today, even if it sucks, that's not the type of sucks that I mean. I really love just working right. And so that's why the default resolution that I like to work in is mostly something very large, because that way I don't have to retouch it later on. I'm gonna make these a little bit rounder, which is nicer. Something like this. And I can still make this one here a little bit smaller. Kind of like this. All right. Now let's hide everything else that we don't need anymore. I have so many layers. That's incredible. Okay. Just a couple of things. I feel like here, this needs to be adjusted. This needs to be adjusted as well. And there's a lot of cleaning we should be doing. But you always have to consider where it's going to be used for. Like, I know this could be potentially work itself into a book. So yes, it could be great and it could be useful in some way. But to be realistic, this will live on Instagram and it will live a short life of maybe a couple of days, maybe weeks, maybe it will go around the world. I don't know. But the thing is, I've learned to spend as little time as possible, and so on. Caius, what a great day! I'm so happy for you that you are finally the owner of a letter and grid builder and the builder bundle. I That's an amazing day. You know what? This is really why I create products, is because I really believe that they help you. So give it a try, play around with it. I hope you love it as much as I do, and use it as much as I do, which is hard because I use it a lot. But you're awesome. You're a legend. Oh yeah, you guys, I know that you guys are all awesome because I see a lot of your faces again and again on this YouTube live stream, and I just want to appreciate you all who watch this over and over again, who spend time, who take your time to play, to draw, to create. And you guys, we just released our podcast, just came up on Apple Podcast, and Apple Podcast is a great platform. It's where all the podcasts go, and I would love to hear your review of our new podcast, the Striving Artist podcast that I'm doing with Lauren Hum. And if you want to leave us a feedback review, that would mean so much to me, because all the stars we can get, we would love that. Thank you, Mirjeta Mustafa. You're a legend as well. Thank you so much. I hope that you guys are enjoying this live stream. I am, because I get to create, I get to draw. I'm gonna combine these two layers here so I don't have to jump around as much. And I need to just get this size a little bit better here. Voila. So the reason why I don't want to spend too much time on perfecting the work that the pieces that I work on, is really because you need to work on more pieces. You need to work on your creativity. Every piece will teach you something new, and if you just try to perfect one piece, not necessarily going to work as well on the perfection side. All right. This tea is really bugging me here. And this is kind of how I know how to improve pieces, is by really just looking at what bugs me out and what I can do better. And so that is definitely one thing that I could improve here. And maybe even reduce the scale and size of this here. Which means I can reduce the scale and size of this here too. Even better, I can probably take this whole piece here. Voila. All right. After a lot of fixing, playing around, not even think, except, well, maybe the bottom two here we could do, but nope. Nah. Well, yeah, well, why not? But what if we go back to these nice drops? Does that work better? There's something about those drops that doesn't work, which is because probably they're just too pointy at the end. I love that people can be at work. NCIS Melanie, if you're at work and you're watching this, you got a great job. Gotta say that. Well, I'm at work and I'm doing this, so pretty cool too. I like that. All right, I'm still finding out what I can do here. I'm gonna just hide this, like show this again here, because I kind of want to move this around over here. Boom. I still need to make something with this part at the bottom of the today. At least I feel like I have to. But what if we add the stippling? That will kind of change the whole thing anyways. All right. So for the stippling, I have created this brush here. So it works in a couple of different Now I know this is cheating, but you and I, we both don't have so much time that we could just like play around with this forever, you know. So what I'm doing here is really just create a outline of where the stippling comes, and this is where pretty much, you know, just the majority of these will go. That looks already a lot like fun. Now, if we switch it up, this one is a lot more random. But still very compact. Here's a funny story. Every time I start stippling, I realize it was a terrible idea. But then you just gotta power through that moment of, you know what, I thought this would be a terrible idea, but it actually can turn out to be really cool. So I love it. Melanie's are finding each other here on YouTube. How cool is that? Just so you see how this looks like when I draw. All right, let's turn up the music a little bit. right, I see we got a couple of questions here. Why dots are close to the Y letter shape? I'm not exactly sure what you mean, Oscar, from this. Oh, I fixed it. Yeah, so I added something here just to try to see how it would look like the letters would dissolve, but I didn't like it as much, so I kind of changed it. But it's always a thing. Keep trying out new things, see how it looks, and if you don't like it, you can always change it. This looks pretty nice. I like that. Any other questions? So yeah, the stippling brush. This is still a product in development, but I feel like it's gonna come out soon, because I really love this brush, and it's not the perfect brush yet, and like I feel like you need a lot of training to know how to navigate it, because like perfect stippling is done by really just hard work stippling, like filling out the gaps as best as you can. But I believe we're getting closer and closer to the final result. What do you guys think about the rest here? Thank you, Jasmine. Very kind of you. So I always have this, I kind of have this thing for gold right now, I feel like. That it's a big thing, because you see what I kind of want to do. I need to just fix some things in here first. But it's to actually make this whole thing like it's gold lettering on gold foil, something like that. And to make that happen, it's actually super easy. One thing we do is we move this around. We get a gold foil that I have in here, this one here. Boom. I move this, rotate that around, make that big, and then actually duplicate it twice, because I need So to show you that, turn this into a clipping mask. Boom, first gold layer. Second here, turn this one into a clipping mask. Boom. And white on gold looks actually amazing too. That's pretty cool. What if we hide this? Less cool. Much more cool. All right. Kind of feel like we can keep that along here, but I definitely need some more stippling on this side. Kind of like this. All right, guys, let me know what you think. I feel like this looks already pretty amazing to me. Something that I feel like I could finish and post on Instagram. There might be some smaller adjustments I still need to do. Usually there are a lot of small things that I will adjust before I actually post it online, but you know, there's always a finish point where you just need to share it and not keep working at it. But I kind of like this, how it went. So again, we, just to recap the whole thing and to kind of like give you guys a break before we finish, let's recap the whole piece. So time-lapse replay, we kind of started off with some easy drawing on the thing, and then we went in, so kind of like a warm-up exercise that helps you to get into action, to start actually wanting to get more motivation, and then finally get into inspiration. So it doesn't really matter which way you go around. It doesn't have to be inspiration leads to motivation that leads to action, but it can be action that leads to motivation that leads to inspiration. So that's what we did. We started putting down our pen on paper and we started drawing, and that led us to motivation, that we had the motivation to draw, that we wanted to do something. That led us to inspiration, where we kind of felt, all right, let's do this. And so here we go. I use a grid builder to do these shapes around here. That was very helpful. I use a letter builder to place inside to draw the letters. And there you see, use those letters, and then had like a little bit of difficulty to start out with the letters itself. That was a little bit complicated. And just the script is always more difficult than the letter build itself. And then I kind of like went on, fixed some mistakes, and then started the stippling. And the stippling, that's kind of like really took the most time. Like you can see all the strokes. Well, it counts by the strokes, but here you go. We kind of moved on. And I'm still not sure if I'm gonna keep it in black and white, but the gold looks also really amazing. Could be a second version as well. So here you go. The gold foil was added with a clipping mask. We used some cool pieces, like some cool stippling brush to make that happen with the stippling here. And you can see it looks really fun both ways, black and white, really cool. So this is Come Draw With Me. We had a amazing almost 2 hours where we spent time together drawing. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Really wanted to tell you guys, you make today amazing. If you don't know that already, here it is, and here it is on the iPad itself. I must say, I really enjoyed this time together, and I hope to do this really soon again. And don't forget to create something today. Finish your piece, post it on Instagram, tag me in it, share it with your friends. like inspire them to create as well, invite them to another come draw with me session with me. Now it's out now, and it has a lot of great inspiration. You saw me being inspired by this book as well just today from looking at it, but then also great stories from my mom. She actually, like, she wasn't sure about doing something, and then she read in this book, got inspired, got encouraged, and so this is for you guys. Really hope that you guys are inspired, encouraged for this day. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out the podcast for more inspiration and more time to actually get started with drawing. And we'll see where this goes next time. And ideas for next time. Guys, I'm coming up with new things. Like, talking will inspire me to do more things. Send me some ideas, comment ideas below what you like to do, and really appreciate your time. Talk to you soon.